Like, so, like, if you're playing a support, you are not the win condition. You can win more games than you lose, like, by far, if you support correctly. But at the end of the day, you do have a bit less. You do have significantly less agency in the game than the cores do. You can subtly, like, if you're pulling if you're pulling and doing everything right, you're pulling every 15 seconds. Like, if you are a support, by the way, and you want to know how to gain MMR, every 15, unless there's a lane that's hitting all the creeps and making them in tower range, like every single wave, which is pretty freaking rare. Every 15 seconds, pull this. If 15 on the second, attack this. Maybe cut this tree and this tree, just to be safe, or and some of these. If you want, you don't have to cut any trees. Just make sure they're in vision of your team, because you share vision with your lane creeps. Come down here and make sure that you are hit. Either a projectile lands on you or a melee one hits you when you're close to your wave. If you attack at 15, you can walk down here into your lane wave. Do this. Pull that over. Let them attack. You can pull this if you want. You can pull this if you want. It's an option. That's actually why I like. That's the only thing I really like 100% like more on Radiant. That's one of my favorite things about Radiant. I like a lot about Dire too. I talked about it early in the stream, but this can be pulled as well straight into here, or like through here. You just cut a couple of these trees with a Quelling Blade. You can pull this over here, even if it's not stacked, and wipe the whole wave. But what you'll do is, what you'll probably end up doing, what generally happens is, pull the wave in here. You aggressively deny, which means you start auto-attacking your creeps as soon as they fall below 50%. You want to deny if you can, but denial gold's not that big. Last hitting the neutrals is probably the most important, the number one priority above anything else for you when you're doing this. The second priority is aggressively denying, and then the third priority would be like getting a actual deny on your own creeps. Because what you want to do is you want to kill as many of these creeps as possible in your lane, or in your wave, and then get a little bit of money and experience. And you can do, if you do this every 15 seconds, why do we do this at 15 instead of 45, guys? Anybody in chat, why do we do this at 15 seconds, like 115, 215, instead of 45? Because like those are the two times you could pull it into there. Why do we do it 15? Anybody? Belligerent Indigo? You know why. Anybody? You do it because if you do it... Okay, it's 145. I pull this into this. It's 245. I come over to pull it. Oh yeah, it's still fucking dead. Because I pulled it 45, it was still in this spawn box. It was still in that box. There was something... There will be something in this... In that box, there will be something when the minute mark happens. And because of that, so like you pull at 145, when you come to pull at 245, it's dead. Yeah. Yeah. You can make that up. So here's the thing. If you keep going, well shit, I'll get it at 15 next time, and you're like, well, I can get it at 45 now, but I'm not sure, because then I won't be able to get it next minute. If you want... Yeah, exactly. If you want, you can pull at 45, and then the next minute, attack this at like... Honestly, I just watched the minute map. I don't have the time. I do this one by feel. Attack this, walk down, walk it through here, or if you're worried about it, you can like walk it through here, like between these two trees. You'll need to cut down 2 trees. You'll cut down one, and it will look like you can pull this through. You can't. Usually. I don't think there's a way you can only cut one of these trees here and do it. So cut 2. Ask your carry to do it if you don't have a mechanic that isn't a tango and you don't want to use your tangos. But if you have to use tangos, get those cut, pull it through here. On the next minute, if you have to pull at 45, the most important thing is that you're constantly pulling. And what this does is, let's say your carry's up here, he's hitting creeps, you do this safe lane pull, creep wave is going to come down towards the tower because your creep wave is going to die and he's going to get a fresh one coming, and like probably your creep wave's going to die first anyway, so he's going to have his new creep wave plus 1 or 2 survivors. Why will his die first? Because you're over here and there's 2 fucking people in this lane. When that happens, it's going to come down, there's going to be 2 creeps coming, or there's going to be usually 2 left, 2 survivors from this camp, and they meet, and then it's your carry's problem to understand how last hitting under the tower works. Which is actually pretty freaking easy if you have a Quelling Blade on a melee hero these days. It's pretty straight up. It's pretty much a no biggie. On ranged heroes, it's a little more difficult. You can, especially like after level 2, level 3, on pretty much every hero, you can like reliably last hit under tower without doing any prepping. But if your carry needs to know, look at their damage, and you have to count the Quelling Blade, which is 24. But just the golden rule is like 72. Look at their damage. If they have less than 72 damage from all sources that go into that right click, if they have like, it's like this, the range is 68 to 72 is the variance, so we just say 70 or 72. You can look at that and see 70. This number, if that number is less than 70, then you can tell them to prep it. But if they have a Quelling Blade, it doesn't matter. You can get it anyway. So if their damage is less than 70, 72, whatever number is easier for you to memorize, you can tell them to prep it. It's not denying, so you can hit them at any point in time, which means if you have like a creep that will you can see the creep is never going to be hit by yours because all yours will be dead first and you'll be walking back under tower. Prep it. You can just prep them all once, and then the tower will get them down to a range where you can successfully last hit them. You'll be last hitting under tower. And that seems kind of sketch, but I just explained how you'll be able to get all the last hits if you are the carry. And yes, there's 2 enemy heroes there. Yes, they won't have a creep wave like this. They'll probably have this. Probably be like this. They probably just have this amount, and they'll probably be they'll be a little bit banged up. These 2 guys won't be here. You'll probably have something that looks like that, typically speaking. Yeah, it seems like it'd be sketchy in the first few waves when you're low level, but remember, so are the enemy heroes, and that means the tower does a lot for you. You can get TPs if they try to kill you there. You've already pulled, and so this is the wave that's coming to the minute mark. This is gonna be going up to the 40-second mark. So with that in mind, that means you don't have the duty to go back over here and pull again. So you're free to stand under the tower with your carry and watch him, help him deny, let him deny if he's doing it, but help him deny. If there's any creeps left alive, which again, probably won't be, you can maybe harass if you have an orb effect like a silencer or cast a spell on the enemies. Either way, you are there as a second hero to protect and be with your carry. And while you're doing that, you plus the tower makes it so even though there's no creeps there, you're pretty safe. You're pretty freaking safe. You have a lot of space to run back under here while the enemy's going to be getting hit by tower. One of you is likely to be at high health if they try to gank the other. And if they end up killing you, fuck it, you're a position 5. Like, it doesn't feel that bad to die on a position 5. Especially if you're making it so your carry can get all the last hits their heart desires. So if you are a support and you want to gain easy MMR, do that every minute for the first 10. Get the bounties. And you won't win every game. It's impossible to win in every game. You won't win as many games if you had really become a great good carry player, good mid player. But it's really straightforward. It's pretty damn simple, and you'll have an insane advantage going into every single game of Dota 2. Yeah, that's what a support does. I just explained everything that a support does in the laning phase. Then there's warding, but honestly, just look at the wards in this game. They're pretty fucking basic. They're not the best wards, but they're adequate. Like, they're good. They're fine. A lot of people aren't even going to buy wards. A lot of people are like, fuck you, I'm a carry too. Look at me, I'm the carry too. Also, forgot to mention, when you're doing this, if he's like here with like 2 creeps keeping the wave out of the range of the tower, or like, let's say Naga, let's inject some Naga back into it. If I'm Naga with all my illusions and using my illusions to tank the creeps to keep them out of range of the tower, I can right-click them, I can burst them all down. I'm totally content with me and my illusions alone hitting creeps here. If I get gone on, I back, I have illusions to take the chip damage. While you're over here pulling, you get to last hit creeps. You get to last hit the jungle creeps you're pulling into, which means you're getting money for yourself too, and experience for yourself. Yes, it's a small amount of experience, and a pretty small amount of money, but it's enough for you to buy wards, it's enough for you to maybe get up to brown boots, or at least a windlace. It's enough for you to get stuff. The little things you need. More importantly, it lets you get the things that you need, and your carry gets solo lane experience. He's gonna be a big motherfucker. That's really, really important. Assuming he doesn't feed it all the way at like 15 minutes, which is what I do. So that's all you have to do to be a support.